These comedy streets check in. We checking in right now. Tell me who we got right now.
Comedian Melanie Hearn.
Comedian Melanie Hearn right now.
Yes.
Now tell me how long have you been doing comedy?
Let's see. About maybe 9 years. 2015. So yeah, 9 years.
Okay, how you like it?
Oh shit! I just had my comedy anniversary, January 15th. Monday. It was 9 years, huh?
9 years, January 15th.
January 15th.
That's Martin Luther King Day.
I know. I forgot to announce that.
Yeah, shout out. So how has it been treating you? How you like it?
I love it. I just headlined my first comedy club in Royal Oak, Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle. So I just headlined my first club. Got my face on the wall.
Okay.
So, and if anybody know anything about comedy in these comedy streets, you know the headline, the club is a big deal. So,
yes, it is.
You know, it's a big deal.
All right. So like, in doing comedy as a female, do you what do you think is some of the biggest obstacles as a female in this business?
Is this like candy?
Yeah, you could be as open and honest as you want.
Not everybody trying to fuck on you. That's one of the hardest parts. Is everybody not trying to fuck on you? You know what I'm saying? Because you're a woman, and you know, in this business, it's just the name of the game. For the managers, promoters, other comedians.
Wow, you know what? And you know what? I'm glad you said that, because as a man, that's something that we don't honestly take into consideration. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? We always, you know what I'm saying? Like, as men, you know how what I'm saying, niggas is and shit. But like, from a woman's perspective, like, it's, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of, you know what I'm saying, hard to hear you say that. Like, so like, that's really like what be going on.
Yeah, especially if you're attractive. I mean, here's the thing: you ain't really gonna be attractive. You know that. You know what I'm saying? So, just being a woman and having to be on your P's and Q's. Safety issues, traveling on the road, you know.
Okay, so
that kind of stuff.
But does that affect your material?
Yes and no. I mean, for some women it doesn't, but like for me, maybe that's why I'm not overly sexual on stage, because sometimes people can, and you ain't even gotta be overly sexual. Sometimes people will take your jokes and think it's real, you know, and you might tell a sex joke and now they like, well, what about that? You know, it's like that was a joke on stage, you know. So I feel like men don't get that same double standard. If you tell a dick joke, it's a dick joke. Nobody's gonna expect you to pull your dick out. You know what I'm saying? But if I tell a joke about a threesome, then you gonna walk with me. Well, how about that threesome? You know, so it's like.
Okay. So like, is there camaraderie amongst women in this game, or is it like, or would you say it's kind of cutthroat, or is it like a mixture of both?
I think it's with anything else, with any other business. If I like you, I like you. If I don't, I don't. You know, and then I feel like, if this is one piece of advice that I have for all comedians: if comedy is the only thing that links y'all and bonds y'all, then y'all probably shouldn't be hanging together. Like, a lot of my friends in comedy, I would have met them somewhere along in life. Mm-hmm. You know, I feel like, because we just are kind of like-minded. Yeah. So I feel like you got to kind of stay in your pack. Don't let comedy take you away from who you are. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah. So it is like these streets. You know what I'm saying? It's real comedy streets. So like, hitting like the Detroit circuit. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are some of the pros and cons of the Detroit? Like, have you where else have you done comedy outside of Detroit?
Well, I lived in Los Angeles for a little while.
Okay.
So that was a whole different thing. But I've done comedy in Chicago, Texas, Seattle, Portland, Canada, you know, just everywhere.
So how would you describe doing comedy in those different markets? Do you have to like adjust your material for different audiences, or do you try to like ease in, like maybe like lighten up on the curses, or like how do you do that?
Detroit never taught us to be easy. You know, Detroit is a rough town, so Detroiters, when we go out of town, we used to just go on punch. And sometimes you do kind of gotta adjust it, not necessarily material, but maybe delivery, because we kind of talk fast. We trying to get it all out. Yeah. You know, instead of set it up and stuff like that. So I think I don't really adjust my material, as maybe I might adjust my delivery. Okay. A little bit, but whatever I'm telling.
How would you describe your comedy style?
Real and relatable. I'm talking about myself. So I feel like everybody got a cousin like me. Everybody want to be, everybody got single stories. Everybody, I'm regular. And maybe observational comedy. Okay. But I mean, I don't know how to really group myself. I'm just me.
Okay, all right. So like, in the climb to this, in the comedy game, do you see it like? I know we talked about it being like the streets. So like, is it very political, or is it just kind of like you let the talent speak for itself, and allow that to take you where it is, or like, do you kind of have to? I mean, it's like the street, so you have to have a mixture of street smarts and book smarts, or like not necessarily book smarts, but like so you got to mix the two.
I think if I'm hearing the question correctly, I feel like just because it's comedians and we're comics, don't mean everything is funny. It's still show business,
Right.
So we still gotta conduct ourselves, like we in a business, and especially if your end game is to. And it's one thing about comedy. Comedy is a relationship business, so we're big on relationships because we don't have an HR department. We don't have like. We get jobs based on voucher. If somebody voucher me because they cool with me and they trust my word, if somebody say I'm funny, then that's how I get on. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you definitely gotta have the mix of the two. What else I was gonna say about something I was gonna say because I'm not. But at the end of the day, it's still show business. So even when people ask me my opinions about famous celebrities and all that stuff, I'm not putting it on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nobody about to drag my shit up 10 years later when I want to work with somebody. So it's definitely political in that sense, behind the scenes and stuff like that. Comedy is a dog. It's like the rap game. It's like any other game. It's like any other game. Can't let the left hand know what the right hand is doing. All that. It's like any other game. People poaching gigs. It's doggy dog. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't trade it for nothing else on earth. No.
So have you had so I heard you alluded to like some celebrity stuff. So I'm not going to go there. But let me just ask you this: have you had to deal with anybody stealing any jokes?
No, not anybody larger than me or anything like that.
Okay.
And then sometimes when people throw out joke stealing, sometimes you have to think about it has to be the whole joke, because a lot of times comedians get it mixed up when y'all might just have the same premise, the same thought.
Right.
But the way you get that's something that happens. Like comedians, we might have similar thoughts, especially if you cool with somebody. But the way y'all end the joke and the way you get to wherever you get, that's gonna be different. But I've had people kind of take a premise and that sounds kind of like me, but again, I'm still me and I'm a great writer, so I'm a writer better than you anyway.
Okay, one more before we get out of here. Have you had to deal with a lot of janky promoters?
Hell yeah, it's Detroit. Hell.
So tell me, what's the worst janky promoter story?
Oh my god, shit. Where do I start? Man, it's so many of them. You got the promoter that when you get in and you only see 2 people in the room, they ain't got your money. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Hey man, the room light, I only got $25 for you. Or you go somewhere and they ain't got a microphone. Or you go somewhere and they don't even know it's a comedy show going on. Or you go somewhere and it's in a restaurant. Or, all type of stuff. So Janky Promoter, that's Detroit, man.
Okay.
Then I hype up a gig it's about to be, and you get in the room and it's him, his mom, and his sister, and you done came in there dressed in the amplified, everybody looking at you crazy, And then he like, well, I'm gonna hit you later, and then they got $25 for you, that kind of stuff. Or they only got chicken and wings, so yeah, it's Detroit.
Alright, so tell the people where they can find you at.
You can find me on Instagram at Melanie J Comedy. You can find me on Facebook at Melanie Hearn. You can also catch me mostly sometimes on Channel 4 Live and Indeed What's the Buzz. So if I look familiar, it's probably because you see me on Channel 4 hosting. And yeah, you can catch me doing comedy all over in these comedy streets.
Okay, alright, thank you. So it's Louis Automatic, these comedy streets, we signing out. Melanie Hearn, appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. You know what I'm saying?